in fixing the leaks that you have in your funnel. This is going to be data heavy because that's where it needs to be. The focus needs to be. But yeah, we're going to dive into this topic today. If you're new here, I'm doing a series on how to double your business in 30 days. I am a CMO consultant, and I get this question all the time. I talked to somebody yesterday who's in the same exact situation of they want to double their business today in this month with $3,000 in ad spend. But a lot of people have these questions and not a lot of people know what it really takes. So that's the intent of this. We're going to go through all of these topics that you need to think about if you want to double your business or even scale 20% or something. I'm based here in Rio de Janeiro. If you're in the area, let me know. I'd love to meet other people interested in this stuff here in the area. And if you have any questions, hit me up on social media and we can talk more. So even the best funnels have leaks. There's no funnel out there that's perfect. Every funnel is evolving. Things change. I see it a lot with copycats. You maybe launched with an A+ offer, and then all of your competitors went and copycatted the same thing. Or maybe your positioning worked in the economy we had a year ago and not the economy we have today, right? These things change, our positioning changes, what we offer needs to evolve, and all of our pieces in our marketing funnel need to evolve. And that's a big part of why I recommended building out the data reporting sheet. In one of my first videos, we looked at the KPI tracking because that's going to tell you the answers that we're looking for here. So what are funnel leaks? Funnel leaks are when you look at that data dashboard and you see every number where less people are progressing than the previous step. So if you have ads running, your click-through rate coming into your site, your opt-in rates, your add to cart rates, your conversion rates, your repeat purchase rates, all of these are these leaks in your funnel, right? Some of them you are less of a priority, but all of them you could put some test in place to improve it. Most funnels bleed revenue, right? A lot of people are quick to blame marketing, but most of the time the core problems don't lie in marketing, right? Most of the time, if your marketing is yo-yoing back and forth of like pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling, you probably have some funnel leaks that you need to address, right? To me, that push and pull of marketing is not indicative of bad marketing. It's indicative of a bad funnel that's not scaling with more spend coming in it. You spend more and it just bleeds and you don't get more people moving through. Don't trust your assumptions on it. A lot of people think that they know what's going on, but have your idea of what's going on and then go check the numbers and see if it proves what you're thinking. Most of the time you don't have a traffic problem. Your problem is converting that traffic when it comes into their sites. The ad networks are making it as easy as possible, right? Like it used to be that you needed to know how to use Google Ads and Meta Ads. They're trying to make it as user-friendly as possible. And so then a lot more of this traffic problem is going to come on the conversion side. I said it before that the worst media buyers I ever met are wildly successful with good promo and a good offer. But with a bad offer and a bad promo, even the best media buyers can't be successful with it. Okay, look at your data, identify where the drop-offs are, right? You should have your KPI reporting already in place. Go and map out these steps in descending order. Look for changes in the numbers. You had a 14% show rate, and now you have a 7% show rate. That kind of week over week drop would raise some alarm bells for me, right? Like the last week, what's the change? That's one of the places that I would start first. And if you're not tracking it, you're really not running a business, right? So put everything you need to track into your spreadsheet, everything that you think is predictive of success, and then go through that list. The hardest thing for me to train is conceptualizing the data, right? If you work in any of these roles, you're going to have to look at an Excel spreadsheet and figure out what's going on. What I recommend doing is think about what you think is going on, and think about what numbers or what changes in numbers would prove that. I think my ads are bad. What numbers would prove that? Go look, and does the data prove what you think it is? What does it mean if they don't? Right? I would go through that. Let's look at actual numbers, because I think it could be helpful for conceptualizing this a little bit more. So this is an example set of data that I might be looking at on a weekly basis, right? So in the last week, we pushed our spend up 30%. I would expect, honestly, traffic to come up 30%, leads to come up 30%, appointments booked to come up 30%, attendees up 30%, closes up 30%, revenue up 30%, ROAS probably flat. We're not seeing that. So we start hypothesizing around what could be going on. I just always kind of tend to start at the front end of it. So yeah, I would expect all of those to go in the same direction. They're not. Which ones are the ones that are breaking? Traffic is not. Traffic is a miss. Traffic's not meeting my expectations. Leads are not meeting expectations. Attendees are not meeting my expectations, and revenue are not meeting my expectations. So then the question is why? And this can get convoluted, right? Our traffic is down. Our traffic is not up 30%. It's a miss. Why? Because our CPC was up 25%. So either your ads are less efficient this week than they were the week prior. What else could you look at? Your CPMs, you could look at other things to show that, or your marketing mix changed, then you have a more expensive audience coming in. A more expensive audience is not inherently a bad situation, especially if it drives higher quality. So your CPC was up, your opt-in rate was also up. Maybe it's a higher quality audience. I would spend a higher CPC for a stronger quality. So opt-in rate is up, appointment booked is up, attendance rate is not. So this is where we start seeing some decay of the higher quality audience theory. Your close rate was up. When those people got on the phone, they closed at a higher rate. And then their AOV was down. So kind of a mixed bag there in terms of quality. Then I would think about what changed. Like, did we change anything here? Is there anything here that broke? Your AOV is down 40%, but AOV can be down 40%. There's a lot of volatility on those back-end numbers, especially if you have a high-ticket product, which in this simulation we do. So AOV, I would be inclined to not ignore, but I'm not going to freak out about a weekly variation on AOV. This attendance rate, to me, would be a bigger deal. And we'll look at stimulations of what if we fix various problems. This is the most impactful change here. What changed? Did we change anything in our email series? Did we change anything in our follow-up? Did we change anything with how we booked calls? Did we change anything in our messaging? Was there any news that went out? What could have driven that? I wouldn't spend too much time looking for a smoking gun, but I would spend some time looking for it. Maybe there's something super easy to fix. I would vet certain things. Did everyone who I expected to get emails reminding them for a call get emails reminding them for a call? If yes, and they actually received it, there's no deliverability issue, then I would start thinking more about like the positioning, the messaging that can be tested to lift that number. Okay. Hypothetically, if you thought AOV was that miss and you were to fix the AOV part of that problem, you still are in a situation where your revenue meets your expectation, right? And your ROAS is up just a little bit. So this is like a pretty good week. But Yeah, you could just say volatility is the whole cause here. There's weekly volatility on AOV. If we didn't have weekly volatility on AOV, then we would be in a better situation. Okay. So I would go through all these questions that need answers. What changed with the traffic? Did you change your marketing mix? Was there decline in specific channels or campaigns? I would have those conversations with your marketing team, figure out what's going on. Why did the attendance rate drop? Have conversations with sales, have conversations with technology, vet all of it, right? Have sales diagnose their side of attendance rate, have technology diagnose their side of attendance rate, and see if anyone can audit anything. Why did the AOV drop? Is it weekly volatility? Do the sales guys know anything? The sales guys say, hey, we had shitty calls this week. No one wanted to buy. What do the sales guys think? What can be done? I would think a lot about this part of it. What could we do to play with this number this week? Could we launch a new campaign? Could we change something? Could we change our email series? And then again, I would think about what can be done to increase AOV this week. Investigate why people are leaving. So watch replays. I use Microsoft Clarity. It usually has more of the sessions than Hotjar, and it's free. I like free. So I usually use Microsoft Clarity, deploy that, see where people are dropping off. And especially if you're an e-com, I would watch it a lot because I've seen a lot of issues where this looks like shit on mobile, or my CTA button's below the fold now, and those types of issues that could take you a long time if you're not watching people's sessions. Also could help you on merchandising. With e-com, merchandising is a huge part of it, right? Getting people to the right product. And you can see like, oh, they're going to the search bar and they're searching XYZ, and we don't really have a page for that. So you can use that to see what's going on. I would also always have A/B tests running. So if something's broken, okay, it's the losing variant, and you just go on, but always have the split test running. Prioritize it by the most important or the biggest impact, right? Normally the bottom of the funnel stuff has the smaller numbers, and you can get a 1% to 2% a lot faster for a bigger potential outcome on the other side of it. But think about where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. This is all just playing with the numbers. So go back to your spreadsheet, right? And see if you play with these numbers, what can we do? So in this scenario here, we just focus on our CPC. Without traffic, we thought our ad costs were the problem. So we improve our ad costs, fix whatever the campaign problem was. And at the end of the day, our ROAS is down and our revenue is barely flat. Okay. Not the biggest potential impact. Okay, let's say attendance rate was a problem. You fix your attendance rate, you bring it back to where it was. Now your revenue is up 60%, beating your expectation on revenue. I would expect revenue up 30%, and your ROAS is up 24, which I would expect ROAS up 0. So in this scenario, you have completely taken back what you gave up in the week prior and put yourself in a way better situation for the week ahead. If you thought AOV was the problem, you fix your AOV, you're flat here on AOV, your revenue meets your expectation, your ROAS is pretty flat. So this is kind of a lukewarm solution, but it could be something. If you tested a new product that week that drove the lower AOV, that's why the questions are important. If you test something, you tested a different product, you had a sale, I would maybe think about not doing that again or ending it, right? So those questions in the context will help you conceptualize what's going on and then make the right call here. In the absence of anything like that, I fix the attendance rate. A/B test everything, always a split test going. A lot of people say, oh, we don't have enough traffic. You have enough traffic. You might have to watch it for a while, but put a split test up there, see what's going on. Track every stage conversion rate. If you have a multi-page funnel, track it from each page to each page, tinker with that. How can you get more people to go deeper and deeper down? Fix on one thing at a time. If you have a show up rate problem, think about one thing you can put this week to solve that. If it doesn't work, test something else next week. I would test it on a weekly cadence. look at the data, see what you could do, deploy a fix the next week, and loop in the folks who are actually going to make the changes earlier rather than later. So they have the context and they know what's going on, know how important it is, but then also they have to know the context to get the stuff done. Remember that it's going to be ongoing. You're going to do this every week. Look at your weakest link each week and decide what you can test and roll out quickly. Try to do things that are easy, and not easy, but fast, right? What can we do today, right? If I'm looking at this Monday for the week behind, I think about what can I get done today to put this week in a better situation than last week was. Don't wait and wait and wait, right? Oh, we're going to work on this week. Find things that you can solve this week. Recheck the numbers each month, each week. We talked about what cadence to look at numbers in a previous video. Go watch that if you haven't. Keep a testing log. I keep a decision-making log, right? Why did you make this decision? What did you expect to see? Let's say in this scenario, you thought it was a traffic problem. You think with new ad creative, you could get your CPM down and your CPC down and your CTR up. Okay, we made new ads. We rolled them out. Did it solve the problem? Yes or no? Did the numbers move how I expected them to move? Yes or no? You make the decision 5 times and 5 times it works. Okay, good. Do it every time. If you make it 5 times and 4 of them don't work, maybe find a new solution to solve that problem. And it's never going to be finished. It's always going to be ongoing. There's always something new that you can do in this 1% to a 2%. Always be tinkering with it, and remember that the funnels themselves evolve, right? You could have new competition that comes in. The offer could stale. I see that all the time where it was an A+ offer, but people seen your ads for 6 months and now it's not nearly as hot as it once was. All of those things will impact the effectiveness and require tinkering on the funnel down the road. Here are the resources that I have for you. Couple books. Use some of these heat mapping tools like Microsoft Clarity. Get it added if you don't have it already, so that you can track this. Okay. If you have questions, let me know in the comments or on social media, and I will see you guys again soon.